Hi lovelies, you're welcome to Stayaka. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this underbust ruched top. So I'm going to be cutting the front and the back pattern together. So this is my back pattern, which I measure out 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance, and then this is it for the front pattern. So I've gone ahead to take my body measurement. So I'm going to place the front pattern on the line, or that is the zipper line of the back pattern. Okay, so I rule a straight line across, which I label my shoulder line. From my shoulder line I came down to my bust line. From my shoulder line I came down to my under bust line. From my shoulder line I came down to my waistline, and then from my shoulder line I came down to the full length of this my top. Now I'm going to be taking my shoulder measurement divided by 2 here on my shoulder line, plus 8 inches for the sleeve of this dress. Okay, now I'm going to be marking, coming down by half of an inch on this 8 inches point that is for my shoulder line, then 1 inch for the sleeve point. So I came down by 1 inch on the sleeve point. Okay, now I'm going to mark 3.5 inches for the neck wideness of this top, and then I'll go ahead to connect the point like so. So after doing that, from my actual shoulder measurement point, I'll come down by my armhole circumference divided by 2. So I'll mark the point there, then I'll go ahead to connect it to the shoulder slope point here. So if I connect it this way, I'll also connect it like so to get my chest line. Okay, so I will label this line here my chest line. The next thing I will do is to extend my sleeve wideness to the chest line like so. Okay, now the next thing I will do is to take my bust circumference divided by 4 here on my chest line, and then I will mark the same measurement on my bust line. Then on my waistline I will mark my waist circumference divided by 4. Then on the full length line I will mark my hip circumference divided by 4. Okay, so I'll go ahead to connect the body points together like so. After doing that, on the side of the full length line, I will come up by 1 inch to get the curve of the hemline. Okay, so I'll go ahead and curve it this way. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to connect it like so from the chest line on the sleeve length to the under bust line like so. Okay, so I use my pencil to do that, then I'm going to use my marker to outline it. So this is the side of the dress. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to blend this with my pencil from the under bust line to the bust line like so. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to come off from the bust line by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead to connect this to the neck wideness on the shoulder line like so. So this is like a curved line. Okay, curved front neckline. Now I'll go ahead to outline this. Another way you can do this is to come down at the side below the under bust line by 1 inch, and then you connect it like so to the bust line, okay, at the center front side. Now after doing that, I'm just going to be slashing and spreading this, okay, for the gathers, that is to get that ruched effect. Okay, now go ahead to label this my 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, this is where the button is going to be. The next thing I will do now is to extend the lines to my back pattern. Okay, so I'm just tracing the line on the front pattern to my back pattern. After doing that, I'm going to be going in from the waistline here by half of an inch on the zipper allowance, and then I'll go ahead to connect it this way. Now this is to avoid any zipper bulge, okay, for this dress. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll be cutting this out. Okay, now after doing that, I'll go ahead to cut this together. You remember I'm cutting the front and the back together. Okay, so for the front neckline, I'll go ahead to cut it first. Then I'll be cutting this from the underbust. So I'm going to be slashing and spreading the front part. Okay, that is the front ruched part. Okay, now after doing this, I'm going to be working on the back pattern as well. But this is totally all for the front pattern. Okay, now I'm go ahead to rule the chest line, my bust line, my under bust line, and then my waistline on the back pattern. Remember, I traced this out with the front pattern. Okay, now after doing that, I'll go ahead to label the lines. Okay, so now I'll take my neck wideness of 3.5 inches. Then I'll come up from my bust line here by 1 inch to connect the back neck line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and also connect it from that point to my under bust point, like so, in a straight method. Okay, I'll also connect the back neckline like so in a straight slant method. Okay, now I'll go ahead to do the slash and spread method. So I'm just slashing this into 4 layers. Okay, so I'll label this and I'll go ahead to cut out the back pattern. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the back pattern from this side here on the zipper allowance area, and then I'll go ahead to slash and spread this as well. So at this point, if you find this tutorial very helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like. So this is basically all for the back pattern. So when slashing and spreading on your plain pattern paper, you're going to leave spacing of 3 inches to place the first pattern, the first slash and spread pattern, to leave another 3 inches to place the second one. This is how you're going to do it till you get to the last slash and spread pattern. So whatever you do here, you're going to repeat it for the front slash and spread pattern. Another thing to take note of is to make sure that your slash and spread pattern will not be going straight. It will be going a little bit chamf, okay, when placing it. Okay, now this is totally all for this tutorial. I'll see you in my next tutorial, but for now, bye and thanks for watching.